this training session, I'm trying to make life easy for you so that you do not have to go through the same trials and tribulations that we did when we started out in this business. And to that end, there are a number of facts that you need to know about the business, the product, yourself, and your client. Sorbite, the miracle mineral that can change your business life and those of your clients and those of your future clients. This is a mineral that can produce remarkable results, and in my experiences, it works up to 95% of the time. The only time it doesn't work is when you have a mental barrier, human behavior, or when there is a problem that has arisen during the course of the trial in the sense that the mechanics of the cauldron have failed you. Sorbite will absorb excess moisture when present and release that same retained moisture when conditions become too dry. The mineral will also absorb and retain up to 79% of any ethylene gas that is present, up to 82% of any airborne bacteria that is present, and finally up to 95% of any acetic acid coming off meat where it is present. In this business, you are going to learn fairly quickly that there are 3 types of people with 3 different types of human behavior. Obviously, human behavior will change from country to country and from culture to culture, but on average, there are 3 broad categories. The first one, and the smallest one in a majority of instances, would be that which I call the no-brainer. Once you've explained to them what the product does, they're going to immediately invite you to come in, run a trial, or even install the filters, because it's a no-brainer. It doesn't need much discussion. The second group, and probably the second largest, is the negative person. Typical response will be, I've been in the business for 40 years, there's nothing new that I need to know, and I'm not interested. When you meet this type of person, it's best to move on, because you're wasting your time trying to convince them to run a trial. They would not even see a difference if an apple changed into a pear in front of their very own eyes. The third category is probably the one that's in the majority, and that is the skeptic. They will listen to what you have to say, they're not going to believe it, but at least they will give you a chance to prove your point. You can work with this type of person because you can convince them. And when you do, you'll find that you have a supporter for life. It would be amiss of me not to warn you that there is a 4th category as well. And although very small in proportion, it is that person that is dishonest. The one that does not want to see you bring in a solution, because as an employee, he or she is helping himself by removing the so-called spoiled food from the cold chain and using it for their own purposes. But in terms of the business, they inform the owners and management that these are losses that have come about in the cold room. So they're certainly not looking for a solution from you. So in conclusion, to survive and make a success of your Sorbite business, you need to have the knowledge, you need to have the power to convince, and you need to be able to plan a strategy how you're going to conquer your market. And just like Caesar, with his famous saying of Veni, Vidi, Vici, you need to say, I came, I saw, and I conquered. But I conquered with knowledge, I conquered with empowerment, and I conquered with passion and professionalism. There is probably no such thing as being a good loser. But when you fail to convince someone that your product is working and the trial did not go the way that you intended, it's best to walk away with a smile, walk away from a situation without making any enemies, because you certainly do not need foes in this business. So when you lose, lose with valor and honor. Although there will still be much for you to learn and experience in this business, I can assure you that you will be one of the best prepared, if not the best prepared, Sorbite entrepreneurs to ever enter the market. If you have taken note of your studies, the video material that has been prepared for you, you are surely well on your way to becoming a Sorbite success in your part of the world.